Okay, so we just came out to get Sawyer, and that's why I always make him take a walkie-talkie when he wants to come out here.
Stop! I have to find you.
Sawyer's been on a walk trying to find you. I told him to take a walkie-talkie, and he's like, he's down the hill, he's down the hill. And then Landon showed us where the new calf was, and you weren't there.
I was down the hill.
Oh. Yeah, I know. Alright, well, with the theme of all the animals just continuing to get out, our horses are on our leased pasture. Keith was barbecuing on the deck and we can see like all the fields, and the horses are not where they should be. They have like all of this pasture right here, plenty of green grass, and it's all hot wired. So we're just making sure that they didn't bust through the hot wire, and at least the gate's closed. So
Maybe he did it on purpose.
We will find out.
I don't know what to do.
Just give him one. We came to see the horses. Look at this guy's hair. There only is one. Give it to Gigi. Look at his hair. Look at his hair. Gosh. False alarm. The person who owns the pasture we're leasing just let them out so they could have extra grass. So we gave them some treats and some scratches, and they're covered in burrs. But now we're headed home to go eat dinner and put these two to bed.
Why did you have those?
Why? Just in case.
And the horses died.
We do lightning.
Lightning?
Yeah.
No. Pick a normal name. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so since we're out and about, we're gonna tag the new calves. So we've got Molly, and do you want to pick a normal boy name, not Lightning?
Like what? Max? No.
Well, that's fine. Do Max.
Max?
Max or Mac?
Max.
Mac!
Mac.
Where did you get Mac?
We don't have it anymore.
Max.
Mac!
The name has been
How
spoken.
about Jack?
Mac!
Blackjack.
Blackjack!
Jack.
Blackjack!
Okay, we're settling on Jack. 2 calves, 1 bull calf, 1 heifer calf.
Yay, blackjack!
Always red.
He is red. Do you need the orange piece? Because do we need 2?
I think she got one.
Are you going to take it?
You guys stop the cow, and I just like sit on it, tag it.
Really? You know how?
Yeah. It's
Someday.
me.
You'll be our first hired hand for free.
Yay!
Good job, Daddy. Molly, she's tagged and pasted.
The next one is gonna be fish.
The next one is going to be Blackjack. And I'm not sure she's going to be as nice. This is not our first time heifer, right?
My teddy.
My titty.
My teddy.
Like, wait, what? Never a dull moment. You hear Mama? We came out here to tag a calf that was born yesterday because if you know, you know. You can't leave them too long before you can't tag them anymore. They're too quick. It's right here. That's the new calf. That's Mama. He was asleep in the sage, so we thought, okay, perfect opportunity to tag him. Mama's not around. And then little sucker just had so much energy, he just got up and ran for a while and then just bolted through the fence. Behind me is our summer pasture. So he went all the way down there and then all the way back over here up a huge hill. And Keith and I had to go hike around, catch him. He's tagged. We gave him some paste and now he's back with Mama. But never a dull moment, I swear. Good boy. Good morning. We are getting ready for school. The kids have school today. I have my 20-week ultrasound today, so I gotta drop them off at school and then head straight to the hospital because all the appointments are at the hospital. So I'll have to pick Keith up from work so he can come with me, and then we will go to that appointment. And it's 2 appointments today. So the first one is the actual ultrasound, and then the second one you meet with the doctor or my midwife. My appointment is at 9. It's from 9 to 10:15 or something. And then I think we have to wait until 11 for the appointment with the doctor. So I'm gonna bring my computer with me and I'm gonna study while I have to sit in the waiting room. I'm still studying for my real estate exam. It's scheduled, and then there's just a lot of little practice tests and things that you can take online to get ready because the class part is finished. So that's kind of my day in a nutshell. It's gonna be a really crazy, busy week, and then on top of all the busyness, our cows are just not behaving. I don't know, we've never had this problem where they have just not respected the fence lines at all. So this is a first, of course, right? There's always a first. They were in our winter pasture where obviously we've been feeding all winter, and then because they were just kind of not respecting the fence lines, we assumed, okay, they're just ready for grass, which we do need to move them. We just, like I said in my last video, we really wanted to get them all calved out first. So then we have a second pasture up here that has lots of grass. So we just opened the gate, moved them over, let them go into that area. And the same too, just keep pushing on the fence. And they're not even pushing on the fence and creeping through it. They're jumping over it. So Keith has been fixing fence literally every single day, which is just yeah, anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna eat, make a coffee, and then we're gonna go to school. I just dropped Keith back off at work and we are done with my appointment. At this appointment, it's kind of when you get to see the most of your baby, and it's the most time they really spend on an ultrasound with you, unless obviously you have to go through maternal fetal medicine, which I have had to do with Landon and Sawyer because of my Chiari malformation. Both of their pregnancies were deemed high risk. So instead of going in for my normal ultrasounds, I had to do a lot more. The hospital that we are going to be birthing at actually has a birthing center. So basically it's mirrors a home birth, but your midwife is there. It's on site at the hospital, so if anything goes wrong, you're just like a skip and a hop away from the actual hospital, and then you switch over to having an OB. So it's kind of more of peace of mind because we do live an hour away from the hospital. And I've never had an all-natural birth. I'm still kind of torn on if I want to or not. I've had 2 epidural births because both of my births were considered high risk, again, due to my Chiari malformation. And I've kind of a little bit debunked their theory maybe, like I'm not a doctor obviously, but you know, they basically, once they saw my charts, once they saw that I had a Chiari malformation, they instantly said, oh, this is a high-risk pregnancy and you have to have an epidural. When I got pregnant with Landon, I had been seeing a neurologist for years for migraines, and they always kind of rooted it back to my Chiari. They would say, oh, you have migraines because you have this Chiari. Well, turns out it was food sensitivity, not because of my Chiari. But anyways, so because that's in my chart, every like time I would go in and say I was pregnant, like with Landon and Sawyer, it was instantly, oh, it's high risk and you have to have an epidural because of this Chiari. If you don't have an epidural and you are pushing, they just said I would be at risk for like a stroke or a seizure, which if you really stop and think about it, like what does an epidural do that makes your pushing not put so much pressure on this Chiari? It just, you don't feel it because it doesn't like hurt as bad, right? So this go around they've offered I can still have an epidural if I want to. I just cannot have this baby in the birthing center if I want an epidural. So they do have like the gas option, like the laughing gas option. So, oh my, there's a ton of elk out there. So I can do that instead, like as pain management instead of an epidural, and just like see how it goes. And they were like, literally, if you want to have an epidural, like the only time you cannot have an epidural is if the baby's head is like showing. And then at that point, like you might as well just push her out. So that was kind of reassuring. The only like thing is between like a room in the hospital or a room at the birthing center, like that part I have to decide, I guess, because again, if I am in the birthing center, I cannot have an epidural. So definitely weighing my options, because like I'm drawn to having a natural birth because I haven't done it before, and I almost just kind of want to like prove to myself that I can do it. Plus I feel like when you start to become like a little bit more all natural and you're like always looking into everything a little bit deeper, sometimes you're just kind of like, maybe birth is birth. Birth is hard. If you want to have an epidural, have an epidural. If you want to have a natural birth, have a natural birth. Like literally it's hard in general. So like whatever choices are made, it's just fully at discretion of the mama. But I am a little bit torn between a natural birth and just doing the epidural route. We live an hour away from the hospital. By the time I get to the hospital, I might already be pushing, and it just is what it is. So that's that. Appointment went good. Happy to see the baby. Glad everything is so far so good with her, and I can't believe we're halfway. You guys, I freaking passed. I passed my real estate exams. So, I did it! I'm so happy. Last night, I was literally panicking, like cram studying, like almost crying, like how am I gonna do this? I have like the worst pregnancy brain. Literally at my last doctor's appointment, you check in and they confirm every single time, which is kind of weird. Like, what's your address? What's your birthday? Blah, 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 just to check you in. And they asked me what my address was, and I forgot. I was convinced that I wasn't going to be able to take these tests, but I've never taken like a proctor, like obviously aside from college, but even in college it wasn't, that was so long ago, it wasn't like on computers like this, but it was like a proctored exam, like in a office building where you like check in, they give you a bag, you put all your stuff in the bag, they lock the bag, and then they like do a wand on you. You have to lift your pants, lift your sleeves, like to show you don't have any like secret notes or anything. And they have to look in your ears. Like, it's crazy. I've never experienced that. And then you get a special code. You sit down at a computer, you put in your little code, and then you log in for your test. So I don't know, it's like kind of weird, but they tell you basically you have, like, I think on the email it said I had from like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it's 10:45. I left around like 15 minutes ago, but yeah, I'm pitted out, like literally stress sweat, natural deodorant plus stress sweat. It's not handling it. But we're done. now I feel like a huge weight is lifted off my shoulders and I can kind of like move on to the next chapter, I guess, you know? Like, it's been a weird thing since January when, like, obviously I was let go from my job that I've worked at for 11 years for no reason. And then kind of like left to figure out, do I want to keep doing what I was doing and find another job in that profession? Do I want to just start over and do something completely brand new? And I decided to just start over and do something completely brand new. So if anybody wants to live in Washington and find their own little farm or ranch, let me know. But anyways, yeah, I'm happy it's done. I'm happy to kind of like move on and get it going, and I can't believe I did it. I really honestly can't believe I did it. It's not like I became a lawyer or a doctor or anything crazy, but like, I did it. Guess who just took me to lunch? Oh my, that guy's bombing. Now he has to go back to work, but we got celebratory Chipotle, and now we're headed back to Keith's office so that he can go to work, and then I will be going home. But I scheduled my fingerprinting for tomorrow, so that's all done, and then I don't really know what happens after that. But we're underway with the process, so that's exciting. And Keith's almost done with his class, and then he'll get to go through the same steps. So exciting. Oh, and while we've been at Chipotle, we have cameras like all over our house, and the cameras have been going crazy because the same freaking heifer that has gotten out like every single day, and mind you, she doesn't like just wiggle through fences and get out. No, that heifer jumps the fence. Like, she has no respect for the fence lines, so we'll probably end up selling her. But she's out. She's at the front door, and someone's trying to deliver a package, and she's in the front yard. So I get to go home and play solo ranching and try to get her back in the field all by myself, because this one has a job. So lucky me. I just got home and shut the driveway gate so that this little sucker is contained. And let me tell you, moving cows and like having to open gates while you're home alone, 0 out of 10 recommend. And a horseshoe. Gates wide open. Go on, girl. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's stay put this time. Whew, it's windy. One of the cows that calved yesterday, her calf is like not really figuring it out. It did definitely have like a slower birth, which sometimes when they have slower births, like they're in the birth canal a little bit too long, they kind of can be a little dumb. So we are going to try and move them into the corral just for like a little extra observation. To see, obviously it needs to eat, so we gotta move them in there and get the baby eating. Down the hill today, It's kind of late in the afternoon. Keith's been tiling the shower this morning, and I was cleaning the oven, which that is probably my least favorite chore. But these ladies are getting super anxious. They have been getting out into like pastures that we don't want them in. So we are going to move them towards our summer pasture, and then we probably will move them a lot more this summer than we have in the past. Just simply because now we do have a leased pasture we can move them to, and we want them to stay off of our hay ground this year. Last year we just let them run the hay ground and then we just bought hay. But this year, since we're actually going to be doing our own hay, we don't want them on our hay ground. So we have the hay fields like totally gated shut. Obviously things can happen, and as we've seen in the last week or so, they like to hop fences and do whatever they want. But we will do our best to keep them off of those pastures and then kind of like rotationally graze them around the different parts of the properties that we want them on, which will then in turn help the grass and the fields and that sort of thing more so than we have done in the past, just because we haven't had a lot of options in the past to kind of rotationally graze. I mean, I guess we could have, but we just didn't. So we are going to do some pour-on ivermectin today. That's what's on Keith's back, and it's basically just a dewormer. So we were really hoping that all the cows would calve out before this process, but that's not going to happen, and that's okay. We've had some summer calvers, and it just is what it is. So let's go. Here they come. A lot of the cows through the gate. Kind of happened faster than we were expecting. We didn't have the quads out yet. We're definitely not doing this one on horseback. But this is where being pregnant and doing this sort of stuff this go around is no fun. I'm in a ton of pain. So I gotta sit my big booty on a quad because it hurts to walk. So Sari and I are in here. We're gonna get the quads because we're at the point where the calves are separated from their moms and they don't know what they're doing. So it's mainly just calves that are left at this point that need a little extra push. Push. Good boy. We got everybody moved down the hill, which is awesome. So now it kind of feels like summer is starting. This is my favorite part of the year, when all the cows are down here on summer pasture, and then I don't know, this is just like what our summers are made of. We take the quads out, we come down and see the calves, we come down to the creek. The kids are all looking at the waterfall right now. But this is the best part. This is what we look forward to all winter long, is life down the hill. Back up the hill. Oh boy. Some of the calves are like not paired up yet. We're gonna give it a little bit because they're not alone. They're with a bunch of other cows. But summer pasture.
Finally.
I know, finally. No more feeding. Okay, hand some eggs over to Sawyer since you're in there. Okay. Ah! And then we'll get the rest in the bin. I grabbed. Oh, you already got them? Okay, good job. Thank you. Thanks for your help, guys. You did good. Our Sunday is winding down. Keith made sushi tonight, so we're having a smoked salmon with cream cheese, cucumber, and is that it? I think that's it. So basically like a salmon roll, but it's cooked. And then we have cauliflower rice. We have a cabbage carrot salad, and then I made a salad dressing for that. And then our garden has a ton of chives, so the kids went and got chives. I just cut them up. So the chives will go on top of the cauliflower rice, but it has like peppers, corn, peas. It's really good. So anyways, Sunday is coming to an end. It's been a crazy week, but let's say goodbye. Say goodbye. Bye.